Welcome back to Real Talk with Brian and Dan on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm Brian.
And I'm Dan.
Our next guests are Bruce Pflaumer, Pamela Forgrieve, and Beck Relyea with Michael Bruce Image Consulting. Hope I didn't butcher your names there. It's all good. Good. So Michael Bruce Image Consulting is a premier top-to-toe image consulting team based in the greater Seattle area. They work with a diverse client base to identify and elevate their personal style by educating how to dress authentically for their lifestyle, body type, and budget. Working with clients to address their interior allows Michael Bruce Image Consulting to dress their exterior with a personal style that is authentic and therefore long-lasting. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Hey, where's Michael Bruce?
Right here.
Nice. So we like to ask each of our guests to share a fond memory of the home they grew up in.
I think when I think about the home I grew up in, I was asking these guys about this earlier. My dad was a huge music guy. He loved music. I've grown up with music since I was really, really small. And he actually put in a complete sound system throughout our entire house. So there was music in every single room. In fact, he had one thing in our main room, which actually the music played to lights.
What, the music did what?
The lights played to music.
Oh, really?
Right on.
Synchronized?
Yeah, synchronized.
Nice.
So what kind of music?
Come on. Grew up with a little Motown, Friday night,
Could have been classical. Could have been.
You know what?
Jazz. Could have been.
Little jazz.
Bebop.
So my dad was a little bit jazz. He was kind of in Miles Davis, and he likes a little bit of bluegrass, little blues like, B.B. King and stuff like that. But a lot of Motown, a lot of Motown.
A lot of Motown. All right. So what kind of people hire a style company?
Well, I think it's you can't really pigeonhole who would actually hire a style company. We like to look at it as though anybody that's in a transition period in their life is usually who's going to contact us. So that could be anybody that's looking to change direction with their job, or they've had a big event happen in their life, whether it is they've moved from one part of the country to another where the culture of how you dress is different. Divorce, weight gain, weight loss, all of those things. So anything really where someone feels that there's been a big transition and they're trying to navigate that and how that reflects their outward appearance, those are the kinds of people that would typically reach out to an image consulting company.
And just for the listeners, that's Pamela.
It is.
Pamela, what's your role with Michael
I'm
Beck?
an image consultant.
Okay, so you're doing all of this stuff, and you're helping people find a new, like I heard, transition in there, right?
Yeah, and it's not a makeover, and it's not trying to change the person. It's really what we do is we develop a rapport with them. We dig deep into, what are their goals? What are the challenges that they're facing right now? And really, what have they done in the past, and what do they tend to gravitate towards? What we want to do is find the image for them that really reflects who they are deeply within inside. So we're not dressing them up like anybody else, so that when we come together as a team and we work on what that vision looks like for them, it feels authentic to who they are. So it's sustainable. So when they're done with the process, they can step outside and feel fabulous about this journey that they've been on, and it's them. It's them. It's just an elevated version of them.
Awesome.
So what made you want to have an image consulting company?
That's interesting when people ask me that question. It was a funny story, actually. I was at a party at Christmas time, and I was standing there with a buddy of mine, and 6 people came up to me and said, "Dude, okay, so how do I look? What do you think? What would you change? What do you think about this?" And I'm like, "Okay, I would do this small tweak. That looks great. Super cute shoe. This, whatever." And he, as I walked away, and I was laughing, and my buddy looked at me and he said, "Dude, you cannot give that away anymore."
You can monetize that.
I said, "Get what away?" And I'm like, "It's just they're asking for my help." And he was like, "You actually could have a company." And he goes, they all walked away like, "Oh my gosh, Bruce either approved it or he didn't approve it. I want to change it, whatever." And so that's actually what made me start thinking about possibly having an image consulting company, because people need to feel good about their personal style.
Now, Bruce is, for those of you listening, I've always said, I would love to sell $1 million homes while wearing a hoodie. He's just so comfortable. But he's got a hoodie on, and he looks smashing. If I can use a fashion term,
I like
you look
that.
marvelous.
Thank you.
Absolutely fabulous.
So maybe I get one of those hoodies. Okay, what's the difference between a stylist and an image consultant, Pamela?
So the main difference is, I mean, a stylist can put together a great outfit for an individual, but as image consultants, we look at it a lot differently. We can help from head to toe. So that is, coming up with a vision for somebody's hairstyle, and that's based on the coloration of their skin, the type of hair that they have, their facial shape, all of those kinds of things. We can help with eyewear, makeup, the actual outfits, the closet, the whole thing. But what we also do as image consultants is we can help direct people with things like their executive presence and how they actually put themselves forward in certain positions. So helping with little tweaks about mannerisms and those kinds of things. So it's an overall package. It really is head to toe. It's internal, external, whereas a stylist would mainly think about, okay, how do I put together an outfit for an event? We look at it in a bigger scope.
So I've heard you now say internal twice. We're not talking underwear. What are we
Well,
talking?
actually, I do that too.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well,
We do.
I was going to assume. So, all right.
But internally, as in, you're reflecting yourself outwardly. So you really, we talked about this earlier on, that authentic portion of it. So really taking who you are, the essence of you, and making that a focal point. But yes, we do foundation wear as well.
Oh, yeah. All right.
So, Beck, are you up for a question?
I am indeed.
So
Yeah.
how about you walk us through the process? Tell us how this works.
So the thing that I like the best is that we always meet with potential clients first to describe the process and make sure they're down with it before we even begin. So they know what to expect. And for me, the great thing about it is we always start in their closet so we can see what their house looks like, what their lifestyle looks like, what they've got in their closet, what they, we always start with find an outfit you felt really good in, put it on for us. It's a great place to start, and everyone has these great gems in their closet. So while we're in the closet, we're taking all kinds of notes. And, what we're trying to do for a lot of people is put together a capsule wardrobe, which is a really good, succinct base wardrobe that you can then do separate, lots of accentuating, accessorizing, put different looks together. So that we go to the mall and we pull the clothes in their sizes and the styles and the notes. So when the client shows up, all they have to do is the work of trying on all the clothes, which is work. I mean, taking on, putting off clothes is actually pretty exhausting.
Right.
But they're not schlepping around the stores. It's all just there waiting for them. So it's always two of us working with the client too. So there is that feedback. We're not trying to force looks on people. We want them to, push the envelope slightly, but we still want them, as Pamela said, we want it to feel authentic to who they are.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I don't know if you're familiar with Steve Jobs.
Oh,
You
yeah.
might know the Steve Jobs.
Yeah,
I have heard of him.
Have you heard of Gary Keller? He's the founder of Keller Williams.
Yes.
One thing that's unique about both of the people is they're pretty much very, very high level of intelligence.
Yeah.
And for both of them, they have one outfit. It's the same thing that they wear every day. And I thought, gosh, wouldn't that be great?
Same
I just go to
outfit.
my closet, grab a
Literally.
T-shirt, grab a coat, and a pair of jeans, and I just walk out the door. And so when I think of, getting in touch, they didn't. The way Gary describes it is he didn't want to have to think about what he was putting on.
And that's what we provide.
And that's what you provide. That's
Yeah.
kind of was bringing that point around. I'm not saying, hey, can you help me pick out a T-shirt and jeans every day? Obviously, that might be a little boring for me, but for some, it's like that's what they need, somebody to come alongside them and say, I got you taken care of.
Yeah, our clients do not think about it. I mean, they have to, we take a lot of pictures, and so they can reference it and go, today I'm going to wear that. And they'll know that when they put it on, it fits great, fits them well. It looks really good on them, and they can go throughout their day and think about other things.
They can pretty much go to their closet with their eyes closed and pick out an outfit.
Oh,
Yeah, nice.
So, Dan, ask the question we've been thinking.
What's that one?
Just a judgment question. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. So when you see people,
We know what's
Oh,
coming.
we've never
are
heard
you
this
judging
question
me?
before.
Are you judging me right
That's
now?
what I'm sitting here
Absolutely
thinking.
not.
No.
No. So, that's not our job. It's not our job to judge people. When we're with a client, do we make judgments on the items of clothing as to whether they suit the person and suit their personality and their body shape and all those kinds of things?
And how
Of
they
course,
fit.
and how they fit, because that's part of what we do. But we don't judge people based on their clothes or any of those kinds of things. It's just not what we do. It wouldn't even occur to us. We see the potential in people, and we see the potential in their outfits. We can say, a slight modification, that would be wonderful. But certainly our job is not to judge anybody.
Well, we didn't mean them. We meant us.
And we're not judging you either.
We have noticed, but we're not judging.
Actually, I tend not to notice. I don't know if I walk around
I
blinking.
notice everything.
So what are the most common styling mistakes people make?
So here's the two common styling mistakes. Is the majority of people wear their clothes too big.
And this is men and women.
Yes.
Men and women.
It's pretty
They
universal.
wear their clothing too big.
That was my answer to weight gain.
I would tell people all the time, if you are in the process or if you want to lose weight and then you get to your quote unquote fighting weight or your goal weight and you don't change your wardrobe down to your new size, you will actually put all of that weight back on.
Really?
That's probably a
Oh,
brain thing.
That is a
Right?
brain
You will
thing.
yeah.
actually put the weight because your body's saying, these clothes are too big. I
Hmm.
need to fit into them.
Oh, wow.
Another common mistake people make is they actually don't have their clothing altered. People go, oh, I can't go to the store and buy anything that fits me. It's like, no one can. Right? I did
No one
once
can.
I did a blog that said there's no such thing as ready to wear clothing. Most clothing off the rack does not fit most people.
Interesting.
Right off the rack.
Yeah. That's my oldest son. Fit is everything. He is, yeah. He's
I like
got it.
him.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, me too.
Fit first.
So this sounds expensive. Is this only for the wealthy?
No, and I think for me, actually, it's almost more fun when we're shopping with someone who has a tighter budget. It makes it more of a challenge, and I like the challenge. But I think that's the great thing is it doesn't necessarily have to be shopping at high-end fancy stores. We can do this at thrift stores or, Target if we needed to.
Well, if everything has to be altered, might as well go to a thrift store and then get it altered, right?
Well, so the one challenge with that, and so for us, our job, this is what we do, is our expertise is in curating tight wardrobes that work for your body type, your lifestyle, and meet your style and image goals. A lot of that is actually in the great basics that people do not have. Everyone who wants to go and buy the fun top or the fun jacket or the fun shoe, but then you go, it's like, where's your dark denim jean for dress? Huh? What are you talking about? So it's in finding those basic items that you could then start adding the fun pieces with it are not available how we need them in stores that are thrift stores or things like that. So we won't shop for clients in thrift stores or any discounters because you can't find those items there.
Sure. Yeah.
And our process is so efficient. I mean, we're not in there like, it's not like, oh, hey, we're going to go shopping with my stylist for a whole day. There's a process there. It's an efficient process. It works. And that's why we do it the way we do it.
So how do our listeners reach you and start the process?
Simple. MichaelBruceImageConsulting.com.
And how long have you guys been doing this?
Oh, I rebranded the company Michael Bruce Image Consulting, which that's me. Michael is my middle name. Bruce is my first name. That's
I was
why
like,
flipped
wait,
it around.
I don't understand.
Absolutely.
I thought you were Bruce.
Yep. No, I'm
So
Bruce.
what's your middle name is Bruce?
My middle name is Michael.
Oh, my middle name's Bruce.
Oh, there you
There
go.
you go.
See, we're
Remember that.
connected, man.
Yeah.
So a little bit of remaining time we have. What is there a concern that people express when they contact you that you hear over and over?
Yeah, Pamela,
What's
why
your
don't you
biggest
hit that
one?
one?
I think, part of that is, they're worried that they're going to be judged. I think the biggest challenge for people is because we start in their closet, that is really intimidating for people. It's like, okay, well, they're inviting us into their personal space, into their bedrooms and their wardrobes. I mean, these are sanctuaries for people. So that's usually the biggest concern. That's one of the reasons why we meet with them beforehand, to make sure that there is a connection between them and us, and that they feel confident and happy with us coming into their space, and that they trust us. So that's I think the biggest challenge for most people is getting over that fear of the unknown and the fear of, okay, what does this whole experience look like?
Yeah.
Are these people just going to tell me everything looks terrible on me? Is it going to be this? Is it going to be that? When the reality of it is that our job is to educate. So we are always our clients' biggest fans, and we're going to help them visualize and actually get to the point that they want to be at in a great way. We're going to be encouraging. We're going to teach them why things work, why things don't work. So we build up that relationship with them first so that they feel comfortable in that really vulnerable space. The closet and the dressing room, those are vulnerable spaces for people.
There you go.
Great.
Hey, thank you for coming on the show today, Bruce, Pamela, Beck.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Remember that all segments of our show are available to watch on our YouTube channel. If you're interested in learning more about any of our guests, please subscribe. Join us after the break for some final thoughts and something fun to do. We'll be right back.